Hey, yeah, man.
This verse comes with some small. Okay.
XOXO, my love is very special. If you want it, you can have it. But don't take me for granted. So much things I did not say. I'm from Portmore, that's in JA. We can do it on that beach there.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, rock it, set it, rock it, set it, rock it, set it, rock it, set it.
Back shot, somehow you got extra. Forget me not when it's sweet. You, what you say?
Inexhaustible water. They named this place El Mina or La Mina, which means the mine. Mina was corrupted to today Edina. Sorry, El Mina. And El Dia was corrupted to today Edina. So El Mina and Edina are all wrongly Portuguese words. Now the zeal for more gold motivated the Portuguese to negotiate with the then king Nana Kwame Ansah the first for a piece of land whereby their traders and also have rooms for their missionaries. In the early 16th centuries, the Portuguese attention shifted from gold trade to human trade. It all started when the Spaniards got to the New World. On careful examination, they realized the land was fertile for cultivation. Sugar, tobacco, cotton were cultivated. Initially, they were using the Native Americans, that's the Red Indians or the Amaridis, to work on their plantation. But because they were not physically strong, due to the outbreak of European diseases, they were dying. So they were running out of population. So they needed alternative. Many suggested they go in for blacks. There is this category known as Bartholomew Lascascas. He suggested in Spanish they go for Africans. Why? Because Africans were working under similar climatic conditions. They are much stronger than Americans. So 1512, 50 Africans were moved from Spain to Hispaniola, today Haiti.
Yes.
They tested them.
First.
They tested them on their plantation and through to the Las Cascas. They proved physically strong. They realized Africans were good candidates for their plantation work. From there, the demand for human trade began. Now in here, slaves were captured all over West African coast, some from Nigeria, Benin, Senegal, Mali, Togo, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Niger, Ivory Coast, Gold Coast, present-day Ghana. In the olden days, wrongdoers were sold into slavery. Debtors were brought in as slaves. Now we have what we call intertribal wars. If tribe A is able to defeat tribe B were captured, brought into slavery. At some point, a whole community, a whole family could be raided, brought into slavery. Slaves, when captured, were made to walk barefooted from wherever they were captured down to this castle. They walked through bushes, crossed rivers, climbed mountains, many of them.
How much do we give?
So we are in one of the cells. This is the European cell. Now, the European cell was meant for the European soldiers who misbehaved. Some went out without permission. Others also got themselves drunk. Now, if you are caught, you are brought in here for some few hours in a form of punishment. Food, water was given. They had two sources of ventilation. And also, the door here is original. And it also served as another source of ventilation. Now, the number of people who were brought here at a time depends on the number of people who misbehave. Now, at most, 5 people were brought here at a time. After serving your punishment, you move out peacefully. Now, from here, let's compare the European cell to the African cell. Right on top of the European cell, right on top of the African cell lies the skull and the crossbone.
Lies the what?
The skull and the crossbone,
Oh.
which means danger.
Yeah.
So let's. Right. Start.
Yeah. Stop. Means danger.
Please let's move in.
No way. Yeah.
So the only way to learn history, to understand history, is to feel it.
Yes.
This is the African cell,
That's not fair at all.
or the condemned cell. Condemned cell because no one came in here and went out alive.
It's true. It's hard.
The moment you are brought in here, meaning that's the end of your life. Those who were brought in here were called the freedom fighters or the rebellions. Those who tried fighting for their freedom.
I know.
No food, no water, no light, no or little ventilation. Because of these holes.
Yeah.
And these are called peep holes. Where every morning the soldiers will peep through, check those who are dead, pick the bodies out, throw them into the very deep sea.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's walk through the dungeons quickly.
That's not good.
When you look back at you, I mean that doggy side, puppy whisper. So I think in the fire fever. If you can't go fast and a vista, tell Afi, Lego, Queen, Lower, Bodo, Lover, Bodo, Cover, Tattoo, Corner, Wow, Summer. In the people and a pump on the post, and a pump and a mine and a pump.
Order the soldiers to open the doors for the slaves. They gather here, he stands up there, choose his choice. If you are chosen, remember, you took your last bath at Asima Marathon. So in here, they stayed in here 2 to 3 months without taking your shower.
What?
Because of that, if you are chosen, you fetch water from this reservoir. I will open it very soon. Wash you right in front of the rest. After they take you to the government. Right from there, you are brought back to the dungeon. Females who resisted this cannonball we see here weighs about 25 kg. Females who resisted were meant to carry the ball the whole day, no food, no water. If you are not able to carry the ball, they put in chains, tie it to your ankle to restrict your movement, just to serve as a deterrent. Let's look at the reservoir. Hold your gadgets firmly. Alright, so the reservoir or the water tank was built or constructed by the Portuguese in 1482. They harvested rainwater, so they had pipes connected all over. So when it rains, the water runs into the reservoir. And this is what they use for domestic purposes: washing, cooking, drinking. When the Dutch took over in 1637, because they were fighting among themselves, the reservoir was abandoned. They abandoned the two reservoirs and built their own because they were afraid the Portuguese might have poisoned the water. So they were not using. Now, females who were chosen had a secret passage to the governor's residence. So let's move on as well. So this is the secret passage to the governor's residence. That's where the soldiers will lead the chosen female to the governor's residence. But today you and I cannot move up here because the stairs is not in good condition. But then I will show you when we move upstairs from here where they will head towards. So from here, let's walk through the dungeons. time, this happens to be the largest or longest female slave dungeon, which held about 150 women at a time. Now, everything was done in the dungeon. If I say everything, I mean they did everything. The condition at the male slave dungeon was the same thing in here. They were treated equally. They were fed twice a day. Now, the only difference, of which personally I think as the sad difference, females undergo their menstrual cycle every month.
Yes.
And everything was done in here.
Yeah.
150 women menstruating at the same time, 2 to 3 months. Imagine the stage. Because of the condition, most of them died. The whole we see there, listen, the magazine I showed you down there, where gunpowders were kept. So whenever there is a leakage in there, the air in there will be polluted. So most of them died. Those who were found there in here were thrown into the very deep sea. The only condition or the only chance females had to wash themselves was when they are being chosen by the government. So because of that, most of them allow themselves. Why? Because they needed to clean away their mess, or they needed to clean themselves. Out of them, most of them got pregnant. Those who were found pregnant were removed from the dungeons. They had stone houses in town. You will be there till you deliver. You were allowed to take care of the baby till he or she turns 80 years, with the intention that the local language would be used. From there, they take the baby from you, bring them back to the castle, teach them. They grow up, some become soldiers, missionaries, merchants, interpreters. The mother, if you are fortunate, you were brought back to the castle, not the dungeon. You become domestic captives. Most of them were allowed to go back from wherever they were captured. But because these enslaved Africans were captured all over West African coast, most of them couldn't trace their roots back.
Yeah.
Some decided to come in here and volunteer as domestic captives. That's not the original floor of the dungeon. But today, whilst you are here, it's a privilege because I will be showing you the original floor of the dungeon.
Oh, you're not recording?
Step down.
Just step down. Just step. Step down.
Some quick one here. One step down. Alright, so this is the intersection room. Remember, the females who survived came out from this area. The men who survived moved out from this area. That's where they could possibly meet, see each other for the very last time. And this point was where if a family were captured, brought into slavery, they were separated. If they survived the dungeons, that's where they could possibly see each other for the very last time. Because out there, they were taken to different places. From here, they moved them to the room of no return, where they never returned. We are moving in there. The door is very short, so when you bend, you count about 4 steps before lifting your head. So that's it.
This is where people bring in, and they pour something out for the ancestors. Yes. This is it? This narrow space?
Alright, so that's the room of no return. All return. A minute silence for our ancestors.
Yes.
Said you're everything I got too many hoes, but they ain't you. Put that shit in your nose, but I still love you. Be doing shit that nobody knows. In the streets they be thinking you're a lady, but at home. Don't at me. I've been working all day. I like to run the streets till it's dark out and come home, blow your back out. I hope that's okay. I can't leave you alone.